Hey, today we're going to take a look at another game by Tiny Epic called Tiny Epic Kingdoms and the expansion Heroes Call. We're also going to take a look at the solo play for it. Like all Tiny Epic games, they come in this very small box, which is great for transportation, great for bringing it out camping, and even bike camping. It fits easily in a pannier. Now, since this is an expansion, I'm playing with an expansion in this game. I took two boxes and made it into one, and I only brought the components that I needed for a few different solo plays. Each character's got these numbers here, 1 through 9, for tracking the resources. Every character's got special abilities, which can go up as you play the game and become more powerful. A little reminder for the costs of war. And each one also has some artwork on the back. There's a lot of characters to choose from. I only brought the ones that are recommended for solo play to save room. There's also a lot of territory cards, each one slightly different than the next. Each card is double-sided. And some of the areas represent resources. So a forest will get you mana, mountains get you ore, plains get you food, ruins give one resource of the player's choice, but there's some special rules with that. This area here is called crags. They are impassable. Water is also impassable. There are also capital cities, which give you a little bonus at the end of the game. New for the expansion is this tundra, which is one resource of the player's choice. And new is these peaks, which adds silver. The silver's a wild. So when moving into ruins, the meeple goes in on a side here. He's considered knocked down. He can't move, but when you collect resources, only knocked down meeples can collect resources from ruins, and you get to choose whichever one you want. At the end of the game, if he's still in here, any meeple in the ruins, it's called lost and doesn't count towards scoring. You could take a patrol action to stand him back up, and he's ready to be used again to move around. Tundra's got its own special rules, similar to ruins. Only one meeple can be in it at a time. When collecting resources, you can collect one of any type. But when a patrol action's played, you must move out, even if you're moving into an area that would start a war. Here's the tower card, which as you build it can earn you victory points at the end of the game. The action card, every round you'll have to pick one of these. We'll go into that in a little bit. And the compass card, which is essential for solo play. This is what's going to give the randomized movements for the AI. There's two sides, depending on what phase you're in. There's an optional rule to use exploration tokens. They're going to go on the territories, and as you claim a territory, you get to collect these. Most of them are good, some are bad. And you get two 12-sided dice. I only brought one with me. You only need one for the solo. Alright, for solo setup, first you select a character for yourself and one for the AI. The AI begins with 3 resources. If you want an easier game, you can have them start with less. If you want it harder, you can have them start with more. So you get to choose up to 6 resources. Next, draw a couple territories. and put them on either side of the compass. New to the expansion are these hero cards. So as you move up in it, you get some rewards, and then you get points at the end of the game if you retire a hero. The AI does not use the hero cards, so we start here at level 1. Each player gets silver and a research token, and place the towers. So for the AI, you place a meeple on a forest and on the mountains. For the player, you put 2 in any territory you choose. One of them is going to be this hero token. You see how it's a little bigger. Last is to place the exploration tokens in any unoccupied area. Alright, so on my turn I had to choose one of these actions, and then the AI also has to do the same action. If the AI can't perform that action, then it gets to collect resources. When it's the AI's turn, you're going to roll that D12, and then that decides what action they're going to take. If that action's already been taken, then you just keep moving along until you find the free action that it can take. Every time the action's taken, you put a little shield on it. And once the last action's been taken, you flip the compass from day side to night. When you move into another territory that has a meeple on it, you go to war. So when you're playing against the AI, you determine the war cost, which during day is 2 times the number of meeples they have on the board. And during night, it's the total amount of meeples they have on the board. Here's the cost of war. Mana counts as 2. Iron as 1. So if the war cost was 5, I could play 2 mana and 1 iron, or any combination to make the number. The AI never pays for war. If it can retreat, it will, but it must pay to retreat. Also, when you're trying to figure out which guy moves for the AI and where they're moving to or where they're adding meeples to, you've got directions here as well. So roll D12. And also night always means far, so it's going to be the furthest meeple, and day means near, so the closer one to the compass. Also, every time that you flip from night to day or day to night, the AI gets 1 of every resource. So let's go through a quick couple rounds. So I can either move a meeple 1 spot on my territory, move from one territory to another, which I would have to be here, and then I could move to the sides that are closest, like they were touching. I could build the tower, research, which adds the magic level, expand, meaning add meeples to the board, or trade a resource for a resource. So for my action, I'm going to pick patrol. Alright, so I want to move my guy here and claim this token, which is a bandit. So when this token's revealed, you immediately get ambushed. Pay 2 resources of your choice, or remove your meeple and place it back in your supply. Now for the AI's turn. So So I chose patrol. That's what they have to do as well. So I rolled a 4. That's the direction. It's on the day side, so it's the near meeple, and he'll move this way. It's just closest to the 4 direction. And he also got a bandit. So now it's the AI's turn. Rolled a 3, which is build. Build for level 1 cost 1. New with this expansion is every time you build, you get to add a tower to a territory that's occupied. The tower gives the owner a -1 to the war cost. I only have 1 iron left. I'm going to save that for now. So I'm going to pass and instead collect resources. So I'm going to get 1 food and 1 mana. So to move up levels in the hero card, you have to pay whatever the cost is on the side here. So if it's food, instead of doing an expand action, you pay this cost in food. For the sword, you have to win a war. So in the explorer, instead of taking a build action, you would pay 1 iron. And then instead of taking an expand action, you'd pay 3 food. One of the ways to trigger the game end is to retire 3 heroes. The other ways the game ends is if the player has all their meeples out, they've built the 6th level of their tower, or they've mastered the 5th level of their magic through research. Tiny Epic Kingdoms, I give it a 3 out of 5. I've enjoyed the game more the more I've played it. I've only played it solo, so maybe it'd be a little funner, competitive. But my main problem with it is being limited on actions with this action card. I found that as I played, it became pretty frustrating as the cards get filled up and you're really limited on the choices you can make, which for some people might be part of the strategy, trying to guess which action to take, but it just doesn't work real well, I don't think, in the solo game, since you're playing against the AI, which is making random decisions. Hey, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.